Welcome back to Heroes on Our Island. I'm your host, Christine Persichetti. Teddy Moore is only 6 years old, but he's one of the strongest people you'll ever meet. He has hydrocephalus, which is commonly known as water on the brain, and has undergone multiple brain surgeries. But those surgeries haven't gotten him down. In fact, this happy little boy is helping to find a cure. But how do you feel today? You feel good? You feel healthy? That's good. Teddy Moore is only 6 years old, but he's already had 26 brain surgeries.
I kind of didn't like having 26
surgeries?
Yep. Yeah. It was a lot of hard. If I were 27, I'll be freaking out.
This animated and energetic child has been in and out of the hospital since he was a baby. He and his twin sister Zoe were born premature. The doctors told his mom Andrea he suffered a brain bleed, which resulted in hydrocephalus, something she had never heard of.
You know, it runs the gamut. You know, you don't know where the bleed was, so you don't know what the damage was. You know, your child has a brain injury. You know, how is that going to manifest itself? They told us all kinds of things that, you know, he would potentially have cerebral palsy, he might not be able to walk.
Fortunately, that wasn't the case, but the diagnosis still wasn't what a new mom wants to hear. Hydrocephalus is commonly known as water on the brain. It causes a blockage in the brain which prevents the cerebral spinal fluid from flowing. The ventricles in your brain become enlarged, making the head grow at a rapid pace. Teddy had his first brain surgery at 1 month old, where a shunt was placed in his brain to drain the fluid to his belly.
He came home, I think he was home 2 days maybe, and he had a full-blown seizure, and I had to resuscitate him, and you know, he was out cold.
Turns out his shunt was infected. Little Teddy went back to the hospital where his sister, who was also ill with a respiratory issue, was still in the NICU.
They were 3.5 months, 100 days they were in the NICU. They ended up coming home together, so I'm convinced he went back for her, although he nearly killed me. He went back for his sister, and they both came home together.
Oh.
They have been inseparable ever since, but Andrea says those first 2 years were hell.
He was just continuously having problems, and we were, unfortunately, you know, frequent flyers at the hospital. It takes a toll on everybody. And every time you go in, I mean, aside from anesthesia, this is brain surgery. You don't know what the result's going to be when they come out.
The problem is there's no cure for hydrocephalus. There's just treatment, and Andrea calls the shunt an antiquated intervention.
And he has so much hardware in his head, you know, 2 catheters, a connector, a shunt, a valve, that there's so many points of failure. And, you know, failure can be something as simple as, you know, not brain matter or something disconnecting.
And she says shunts malfunction all the time.
I have a mixed up dizziness headache.
And that's like how you know something.
A headache, dizzy, wizzy.
That's why Teddy has had so many surgeries.
Here's the shunt, and I used to have a shunt over here when I was tiny, and the tubes were here. That's how you can feel the bumps.
So with fundraising walks like this one at Teddy's school, Hewitt Elementary in Rockville Center, Teddy is trying to raise awareness of his condition and money to find a cure. The principal calls him the mayor of Hewitt.
I want the children to embrace him, and I want them to accept him, so raising awareness about hydrocephalus makes it less scary for them.
Teddy had 4 surgeries during the first 2 months of school this year, so when he returned, his scars were clearly visible.
He had staples in his head and some scars.
What'd you think about that?
I was a little scared by it.
The children looked at his scars and were a little bit fearful of them. They had questions. Teddy, as you know, had a lot of answers. But you know what? They learned from it, and they were compassionate.
Can everybody say cheese? Cheese!
And because of Teddy's big personality, the children don't stay scared for long.
I went in Zoe's classroom, and Owen and Andrew wanted my autograph.
They wanted your autograph?
But I had no papers.
He's friendly, he's caring, he's loving, he's exuberant, he has such great energy. Each time he comes out of his surgeries, he screams, "This is the best day ever." He is my superhero.
His sister Zoe is always there for him at the hospital, and at school, she helps answer the kids' questions.
I tell them like hydrocephalus is a big thing, so you just have to be brave.
And is your brother brave?
Really, really brave.
Mia Padron from the Long Island chapter of the Hydrocephalus Association says even though many people don't know about it, this condition is not uncommon. In fact, 1 in every 500 children are born with it. She brings Boozle Bear to schools to teach kids how shunts work.
It helps them understand what he's gone through and goes through when he comes to school with the staples in his head and the scars. They can understand better in an easier way of what he has.
Anakin is an amazing Jedi.
And if you didn't see his scars, you would never know what Teddy and his family have been through.
There's that level of anxiety, but I also feel incredibly blessed because he just has the most magnificent attitude about it. He's comfortable with it. He's not shy about it. And he helps me get through it, if you can believe that.
People might call you a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's kind of good.
Teddy's school raised more than $10,000 from that event, and many of the people involved also plan to take part in the annual Hydrocephalus Walk organized by the Long Island chapter every September. To learn more about this, or if you know a hero in your community, let us know. Visit our website at fios1newsli.com. Follow us on Twitter at HeroesLI and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/HeroesLongIsland. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thanks for watching Heroes on Our Island.